Imagine for just a second that almost everything you've been told about success, confidence, and how your mind actually works is quietly wrong. What if the last 100 years of psychology research could hand you a completely new operating system for your life? In the next few minutes, you're going to discover 5 simple but life-changing truths that will rewire how you build your identity, free you from the anxiety of what other people think, unlock real growth even when life feels hard, and finally show you how your mind truly remembers every important moment. These truths have been hidden inside research papers for decades. Today, I've distilled them into 5 clear insights that actually change how you live. So, if you're ready to stop guessing and start understanding your own mind, let's begin with the very first truth, the one that decides who you ultimately become. Here's the first truth that changed everything for me. Identity is built by behavior. B.F. Skinner, behaviorist, 1950. You don't wait to become the person you want to be. You start acting like them until it becomes who you are. Every single action you take is a vote for the future version of yourself. Let me make this real for you. Imagine someone who dreams of being confident and disciplined, but wakes up every morning feeling the opposite. Instead of waiting to feel motivated, they begin with one small behavior. They make their bed perfectly. They go for that 10-minute walk. They speak with one person as if they already carry quiet confidence. At first it feels fake, but day after day, those actions start to rewire who they believe they are. The identity doesn't come first, the behavior does. And slowly, the person they want to be becomes the person they are. This isn't theory. This is how real change happens. So the next time you catch yourself thinking, "I'll start when I feel ready," remember, you don't need to feel ready. You only need to start voting. And yet, even as we begin to build this new identity, there's something that still holds so many of us back. We worry constantly about what other people think of us. But the surprising truth is, people aren't thinking about you. The spotlight effect, Savitsky, 1999. We dramatically overestimate how much other people notice our mistakes, our flaws, or even how we look. We walk into a room convinced everyone is staring at the coffee stain on our shirt, or replaying that one awkward sentence we said in the meeting, or judging the way we spoke in that conversation. But here's the liberating reality. Most people are far too busy thinking about themselves to be thinking about you. Let me paint a picture you've probably lived. You give a presentation, your voice cracks on one line. In your head, you're sure the entire audience is replaying that crack, judging you, remembering it forever. In truth, most of them were thinking about their own upcoming talk, or what they're having for lunch, or the text message they just received. Your mistake barely registered. And when you truly understand this, a quiet freedom washes over you. The pressure to be perfect drops away. You stop performing for an audience that was never watching as closely as you feared. You begin to show up more boldly, more authentically, because you finally realize you're freer than you thought. This single realization can release so much unnecessary anxiety from your daily life. And yet, even with this new freedom, the deepest growth still doesn't come from talent or from things being easy. Real growth comes from struggle. Carol Dweck, Stanford, 2006. There are 2 ways to see yourself, a fixed mindset or a growth mindset. In a fixed mindset, you believe talent and intelligence are set in stone. You either have it or you don't. So when things get hard, you feel exposed. You avoid challenges. You give up early. But in a growth mindset, you understand something far more powerful. Talent doesn't predict success. Belief and effort do. If you believe you can grow, you will. Every time you push through struggle, your brain literally rewires itself. Effort becomes the very thing that expands your ability. Let me show you how this changes everything. Think of the student who was told they were not a math person. Instead of accepting that label, they chose to believe they could improve. They studied when it felt difficult. They asked questions when they felt lost. They kept showing up even when progress was slow. Months later, that same student wasn't just better at math, they had become someone who trusted their own capacity to grow. The struggle didn't break them, it built them. That is the quiet miracle of a growth mindset. This truth gives you permission to stop waiting for natural talent and start trusting the power of your own effort. And here's where it gets even more important. Everything we see and consume every single day is quietly shaping the very beliefs we hold about what's possible. That brings us to the next powerful truth. Exposure shapes cognition. Albert Bandura, Social Learning Theory, 1977. Our beliefs, our expectations, even our standards of what feels normal are all quietly molded by what we repeatedly see and consume. Especially in today's world, your digital environment has become one of the strongest forces shaping who you become. Scroll through social media for 30 minutes and you'll see it happening in real time. Perfectly edited bodies, highlight real successes, luxury lifestyles presented as normal. At first it feels harmless, but day after day, week after week, your brain begins to accept those images as the baseline. Your expectations rise. Your sense of what's possible or what you should have shifts without you even noticing. Suddenly, your own real life starts to feel lacking. Here's the eye-opening truth. You are not just consuming content. You are absorbing an entire set of unspoken rules about who you're allowed to be. The good news, this power works both ways. When you deliberately choose better inputs, books, conversations, creators who lift you up instead of shrinking you, your mind begins to expect more of the right things. Your standards rise in the direction of growth. You start to believe in possibilities you never even saw before. You become what you repeatedly expose yourself to. This truth invites you to become far more intentional about what you let into your mind, because the way we remember every experience in life is shaped by something even more surprising. That brings us to one final, powerful insight. We remember the peak and the end. Daniel Kahneman, Nobel Prize, 1993. Here is the truth that will forever change how you live every important moment of your life. We don't remember experiences the way they actually happened. We remember only two things: the most intense peak and how it ended. Think about it. That 2-hour workout you powered through, your brain doesn't replay the full hour of sweat and struggle. It remembers the moment you hit a new personal best and how you felt when you finally stood tall at the end. That difficult conversation in a relationship, you won't replay every word. You'll remember the raw emotion at its highest point and whether it ended in connection or silence. The presentation you gave at work, the audience won't remember the entire slide deck. They'll remember the one electric moment when you spoke from the heart and the final words you left them with. This is the peak end rule, and it is one of the most powerful tools you will ever possess. Because once you truly understand it, you stop leaving your most important moments to chance. You begin to design them. You create unforgettable peaks of intensity, moments of courage, love, excellence, or breakthrough. And you make damn sure that every experience that matters ends strong, ends with hope, ends with power, ends in a way that people and you will carry with them forever. This single truth can transform your days, your relationships, your work, and the very legacy you leave behind. If you want your life to be remembered as extraordinary, then make every ending extraordinary. Create peaks worth remembering. And when you combine this final truth with the 4 that came before it, something truly profound happens. Over the last 100 years, psychology has quietly handed us a complete operating system for a better life. You now know that your identity isn't something you wait for. It is built, one behavior at a time. Every action you take is a vote for the person you are becoming. You now know that the spotlight you fear is mostly imaginary. People aren't thinking about you nearly as much as you think they are, and that realization sets you free to show up fully without the weight of unnecessary judgment. You now know that real growth was never meant to be easy. It is born in the struggle. When you choose a growth mindset, effort doesn't just improve you, it literally rewires who you are capable of becoming. You now know that your environment is shaping you every single day. What you expose yourself to becomes your new normal. So you can choose with intention the inputs that lift you higher. And you now know that the stories we carry forever are not the full journey, but the peaks we create and the way we choose to end things. These 5 truths together don't just give you information, they give you power. Power over your identity, freedom from anxiety, the courage to grow through difficulty, control over what shapes your mind, and the wisdom to design every important ending so it leaves a legacy worth remembering. My friend, you were never doing life wrong. You were simply missing the map. Now you have it. So go out there and vote for your future self with every action. Live freely, grow boldly, curate your environment with care, and make every ending one that echoes with strength and hope. The life you've always wanted to live is now yours to design. If these distilled truths from a century of psychology moved something in you today, and you want more insights like this, simple, powerful, and life-changing, then hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep choosing wisely.